Hello and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe, right here in our Lagos studios. Austin is in Glasgow. I'm guessing he will join me any moment from now. He's monitoring most of the races currently going on because Team Nigeria are buzzing. It's been a fantastic day for the team from track and field. And of course, Enekwechi, finally, he won a gold medal for Nigeria in short put with a throw of 21.07 meters. A big throw, and that was enough for him to strike that gold he so much desired. So, it's now 8 gold medals for Nigeria at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Obviously, that will take our attention on the show tonight. Tobiloba Amuson also, tonight at 9:49 p.m. Nigerian time, obviously, she will be running the final, going for a 3rd successive title at the Commonwealth Games, where it's looking like she's owning that hurdles. All right, we will also be talking about some other athletes that are currently in action. 3 Nigerian athletes, for the 400 meters are in the final. The men, 2, and of course, for the women, 1. And for the women, you know who? Ella Onovujevo. Yeah, she's in the final of the 400 meters for women. So much on the show tonight. And of course, Women's Africa Cup of Nations taking place in Morocco will also be getting our attention. The Super Falcons discussion still on. They will be facing Zambia on Saturday. It's a do-or-die game for them. You lose that opportunity to get to the World Cup next year is almost over because you have to rely on results from other groups and, of course, wait to beat Egypt to get into quarterfinals, for the sake of semifinals, and get a ticket to the World Cup. So 11 times champion, 10 times champion, going for 11. They are in a very precarious position at the moment. We'll talk about the Super Falcons of Nigeria and, of course, what's currently going on in the world of football, talking about the governing bodies. UEFA are saying that if the proposals from FIFA to sell a minority stake of the World Cup, they will not participate anymore in FIFA's competitions. That's at the World Cup. And, of course, CAF are also looking at the proposals by FIFA. It's all about the money, but most of these federations are not happy with Gianni Infantino with the proposal he has brought up. And Gianni Infantino is saying it is not obligatory. It is just a proposal to see how much they can make more money for those who cannot make money from football. Those lesser countries, so to speak, they can earn more money and develop their games. That's where Infantino is coming from. We'll discuss all this on the show tonight. But first, I've got a guest in the studio. Damilola Onifade is joining me tonight. Good to have you.
Ceci, it's good to be here. Mixed feelings.
Yes,
mixed feelings. When you put the Falcons into the mix, you're not too sure how to react to that. But then for the Commonwealth Games, it's been a good run so far. And I think the good days will continue towards the end of the competition because we have started well.
We started well, really. 8 gold medals. That's a lot, you know.
It's a lot.
We still have more to go. So we're thinking about maybe tonight.
In about an hour, I should be 9.
9, right? You're so sure.
I'm certain of that.
You're so sure of that. Yeah. Yes, we'll be talking about the Super Falcons. Austin is ready. Austin, I thought you're going to watch Tobiloba Amuson already in the stands trying to see what she will bring up, because what she did in the semi-final, he's running the fastest times in the game's history with that 12:19 that she ran earlier this morning.
What a great thing to you, Cecilia, and of course our viewers joining us from all over the world. It's always an action-packed world of sports. I'm right here at the Scotstoun Stadium in Glasgow, Scotland, for the 2026 Commonwealth Games. I tell you, we are looking forward to that one. I think that race will be done at exactly 9:45 or 9:49. So we'll just be leaving the show there, and then I can run to go catch up with Toby. What a story. Huge medal, hopeful, world record holder. You said it's what she did, to qualify for the final, 12.19 seconds, but it was wind aided +3. So it wasn't legal. Otherwise, it would have been a games record for qualifying at the Commonwealth Games. She's looking for a 3rd consecutive Commonwealth title. So she's the athlete to beat.
Right.
That event. I spoke to Divine Charlton from the Bahamas.
I know we are going to get into the Commonwealth Games, but then we're starting with the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. You always say ladies first, right? So we're starting up with that.
I was talking about to me
at the moment. Welcome back. Now let's delve into what is currently going on with the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Of course, you're looking towards the game that will be played on. They will be playing on Saturday. First, let's take a look at the fixtures for Group C and the chances of them. Actually, if we have that ready, we'll quickly go through the fixtures for Group C because it's looking really, really tight at the moment. But Samuel Amedu will also be joining us from Abuja. Samuel, I don't know why you're still in Abuja. I mean, you're supposed to be in Morocco right now. What's going on? It's great to have you join us on the show.
Yeah, good to be here. Thanks for having me, Sisi. Always enjoy connecting to discuss Super Falcons and also exciting moments for women's sports globally. Seeing what our women also are doing in terms of their sports at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. So, exciting. I'm here after Nigeria, but hopefully we'll link up with the guests in days to come. But reality-wise, I'm here and I'm still there. I'm here physically, but there in the spirit.
Okay, you have to go support the girls. All right, let's take a look at the fixtures before we talk about the Super Falcons. Of course, the games being expected. For Friday's fixtures, South Africa, having lost their opening game to debutant Tanzania, they will be up against Cote d'Ivoire, who won their opening game against Burkina Faso. On Saturday's fixture, you have Egypt and Malawi, and of course Nigeria and Zambia. So these are the games you're having, Group B and of course Group C. From Group A, you have other fixtures, the one that's currently going on at the moment, but we'll talk about that on the show later. But first, our focus is obviously on this game between Nigeria and, of course, Zambia. Zambia won their first game against Egypt. That it was 6-0, and Barbara Banda, well, 4 goals and 1 assist. So she's telling everyone she has arrived in Morocco, meaning our business. Sam, I'm going to start off with you here. Yes, we talked about the team list. We talked about, before that game started, we talked about the team list. As if it was looking like maybe Coach Madugu was trying to, test the waters, with that team list. And obviously, well, will I use the word, kind of came back to bite him or something? It was still experimental because he didn't have much time with the girls, so he needed to play the players that he feels, or rather, were good during training sessions. But at the end of the day, it didn't really work out so well. Nigeria losing by a slim margin. It was 3-2. I don't know why people are actually screaming and shouting. It wasn't as if it was 3-1 or 3-0. Maybe because of the 10-time champion. All right, they won the title 10 times. But what are you looking forward to see in the game against Zambia, really? Looking at all the mistakes that were made in the opening game against Malawi.
Yeah, basically, I think, like you did mention, what we are all human beings. Mistakes are bound to happen. Football makes mistakes, not God. So, realistically, I think definitely as much as the coach has also had these thoughts behind his mind in almost every lineup that he has shown. Winning the tournament last year, the same mindset and seeing the high spirits within the girls. It's somewhat, even for the coach himself, disappointing that he had so much belief in these girls, and sincerely, they haven't never disappointed him until now. So, and I really feel for him. You trusted these girls, and you can't for a kid feel let down, because when we are professionals, there's not much of an excuse you give at this level that really counts for it. So, I think going forward, the coach, based on my engagements and conversation with several officials, the team and players, they seem to also have been disappointed by that performance. They also, you could see a lot of the players taking responsibility, the likes of Okoronko. All of them were just not at the level that one would have expected. But take nothing away from the Malawian. They exploited our flaws, and it's just what gave them the advantage. We know on our own side, it seems like we didn't do the due diligence. Definitely, they were pretty worried about their goalkeeper, which they didn't have a very good strength at that level. But it is what it is. We look forward to the Zambia game, and the good thing is the girls are very much experienced in how to respond in situations like this. We saw when everyone had to talk them down, struggling to get a point against Algeria in the last moment, last group stage of the last moment, and they gave a very strong response. Coupled with the kind of fears that was created with the attacking duo of Zambia, the Babananda and the Kodemanji. And that was the reason why they gave that a statement win, 5-0 win. So I think going into this game, Nigeria is more familiar with Zambia. We know them too well. We've met at least 4 times in this competition and probably the 4th time in the group stages. So we are familiar foes, if I may admit, and we know ourselves very well. And when you look at the previous meetings we've had, except for the third place match that we did lost to them, we have never. It's been a whitewash the previous meeting. So I think this time around the girls will be coming in not looking like favorites anymore, but will be looking to fight the battles of their lives, redeem their image, more like a fight for redemption, and also that yes, they get bank contract. So we know to go to Zambia. So I think a lot is on the line, riding on the line. If we lose this game, we are practically out of progressing. So there is no thoughtless opportunity. So it's a win, or it's either we win to stay in, or we lose to win.
Yeah, all right. I don't know why they're going to Austin, but then let's take a listen to the coach, Justin Madugu, his reaction after that game. Of course, talking about some of the talking points that came out from the game, Chiamaka's performance, and also, well, the issue of players' use of social media. He had something to say concerning that, of course, going into the game against Zambia, how to correct some of the errors that were made against Malawi.
Make mistakes and we learn from them and we try to get over it. It did well. For Deborah, the arrival also affected her engagement, involvement in today's game. She arrived very late, and you have to give her time to recover so that you don't push her into the game and eventually you have injuries or whatever. But like I said, it's normal, it's football, it's a wake-up call for us, and we know what is still at stake. We are going back to correct those mistakes and see how we get over them and then get to the next game or next round. Chiamaka has been, I mean, a very good player. Everybody knows her exploits, both at the national team, in her club side, and like I said, you can always have good days and you can always have bad days. Today, we will consider it to be one of the bad days, not only for Chiamaka, but for all of us collectively as a team. She has been very outstanding. She has been very outstanding in all the games we have always played. That it happened the way it happened today is one of those things. It is normal. Things like this do happen in football. And we know she will also get over it. It's not an individual error, it's a collective thing. We all take responsibility for that and not blame one player for it. We have noticed whatever errors that may have resulted in the result of the game today. We will still go back and still analyze the game generally before we come up with what we need to do, having corrected those errors that we also notice, and then come up with a plan of how to play in the next game against Zambia.
Come on with a plan. That's what Justin Madugu is saying. Damilola, I mean, what do you make of his reaction? I mean, people are asking questions, Deborah and all of them, so it's got reasons. Some of the players arrived late, and so that's why some of them feature in the game. Now, we're looking forward to Zambia, because we can't overflog what happened against Malawi. Let's rest that and look forward to Zambia. What do you want to see really in that game?
Personally, I think the coach have said all the right things. Yeah. I like his reaction. I like the fact that he stood up for his players. He has defended them. He has taken on most of the blame. I mean, mistakes were made. He didn't excuse himself from whatever fault anybody is speaking. So I think he said the right thing. I think his reaction after that game was perfect. I just hope that in camp, they're also doing the right thing. Because I hope that we're not putting, that's where experience must count. We're not putting too much pressure on ourselves. It's just a game of football, and then you live to fight another day. I don't know why I'm here again today. I remember the last AFCON, I was here just as we were going to play Zambia, and I actually made Zambia favorite for that game, only for us to beat them 5-0. I'm hoping for the same result this time. Like Sam said, I mean, Zambia, we know them very well. For me, the big shock against Malawi is basically two things. They are debutants, and then we consider 3 goals. So if people are reacting, I think it's on those bases.
Do they know the Malawians really?
Maybe
do they really know them?
Yeah, that's the point.
People who follow women's football will not
will not be shocked.
Yeah.
But I said
Because
a lot
I
of people are
wasn't.
reacting because they are debutant.
Yeah.
A lot of people have not seen them at this level.
Okay.
And then you expect that the Super Falcons in Africa will most likely not concede 3 goals.
All right.
I think those are the reasons.
Okay,
Other than
yeah.
that, I'm taking it as just another game of football.
Yeah.
I think we'll beat Zambia.
Okay.
And I think we still have a good chance of going to the World Cup and
Yeah.
possibly even win this World Cup.
Yeah, because when I saw Malawi preparations ahead of this tournament, that's when I knew that these girls would be difficult to beat. Because all the 4 warm-up games they played before they played these 4 Falcons, they lost everything.
Yeah.
They lost all of them. And then last year they played about 8 international friendlies. So all the questions have been there. Let me go to Austin before. I know Austin wants to throw one question to Sam before letting go. Austin, I mean, your reaction. We just have one do or die right now. I mean, Super Eagles will always say this about, but right now it's gone to Super Bowl because anytime I'm here, they're condemned to win. I haven't used that word for the Super Falcons ever. But I'm using it.
Yeah, you go. So that's football telling you, Cecilia, be humble, you know. Because
Yeah, I am.
You never know, you know, and you know my favorite line that when you think you know football, it stuns you. So all of us should eat our humble pie and then hope that the team will show good mentality, bounce back. I love the responses of Coach Justin Madugu. Look, people will talk. If you had won that game, they would have said, you know, it's slowly rated Malawi. If we had so they will always talk. If that game had not gone the way it did, they would have still said something. So the good thing now is that this has happened. They now know that they can be beaten, particularly when execution is poor. Before I let you go, Sam, in what ways do you think the Super Falcons can bounce back?
Yeah, for me, I think the best we can, like you said, mentality. And I think this is not a team that is that this is a team that is unpredictable on their days, and you know they know how to also make people eat their words. And the good thing for me and the excitement for me is they've managed to also draw the attention of many Nigerians globally to them. You know, where we've set some unwanted records. We did that even in the finals, conceding 2 goals. That has never happened in our history of participating in World Cup finals. But it happened, and we showed them that yes, we don't just commit unwanted blunders. We also try to correct blunders we created. They were almost going to bounce back to level the game against Malawi, you know, no matter what. But again, it was a lot of lessons to them. Those unwanted records are something that would danger them to perform. And realistically, I know they have learned a lot of lessons. But looking forward, I think we need to see how best we could exploit the strength of our players. We know how best we shut down the Zambians in our first meeting. And definitely for me, I still respect that approach we had in the last tournament against Zambia, because nothing has really changed in terms of the setup of Zambia. Instead, we just need to be solid for the entire game, 90 minutes plus. And if we could mastermind that great performance we put up, being turned up for every moment of the game, definitely I think we'll be able to make a very strong statement against Zambia. And no matter what happens, it will now come down to what happens between Malawi and Zambia. Definitely we'll keep the game in our hands when we can beat Zambia. And I believe going forward, we still have everything under one goal.
Sam, thanks so much for your time on the show tonight. Always a pleasure to have you come around to talk about women's football. And that's what she says, Super Falcons.
Oh, thank you for having me. I always agree with you.
All right, that's how I'm going to do Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, it's all about the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Don't go anywhere, stay with us. Welcome back to Sports Tonight to your award-winning sports loving Channels Television. Let's talk about the 2026 Commonwealth Games. I'm right here at the Scotstoun Stadium in Glasgow, Scotland. Cecilia, what's the vibe back home as regards Team Nigeria and their performance?
I mean, it's been crazy, really. You're glued to your TV and everyone just anticipating what will be who will win the next gold medal. I can't remember, not even the one in Birmingham was this exciting because of what Team Nigeria, what they're doing, from the powerlifters that started all the gold rolling in, to the weightlifters, really, because the last time they were not as productive as they were. And of course, with the athletes, all of them talking about the kits, from the kits to preparations, to them, they've never witnessed that. So that gave them the kind of, the extra motivation to go all out and start winning the medals. Over here, back home, it's buzzing, really. I mean, if you enter the newsroom sometimes when some of the games are going on, even the CNs on duty, like, they have to leave their bulletin sometimes and just, you know, take a peek at the TV to see who is the next gold medal. But let me throw it to you here, Damilola. I mean, we've seen Team Nigeria's performance, really. I mean, 8 gold medals so far. And you mentioned at the beginning of the show that by 9:50, it could be 9 because of Tobiloba Amuso. But then we still have Chinemere. He's currently, you know, javelin. Of course, we also have discus final, and we have 3 of our team. I mean, 2 men and one lady in the final of the 400 meters. So that will take place tomorrow. So 200 meters also, Udo Izurike. You know, he's in the final of the 200 meters. So we've seen the athletes' performance. Yes, not so many golds coming in from track and field, but other sports. We've seen that, really. Your view since the Commonwealth Games started, really. I mean, Nigeria's performance so far.
I think it's been a fantastic one so far, and I use that word intentionally, fantastic, because it's one of those rare occasions that will go for a multi-sport tournament, and our focus is on the games and not on other issues. Do you understand? So I'm using that word carefully. That's been a fantastic one. It's quite unusual, positively unusual, that is, that we're focused mainly on the performance of our athletes. And you could tell that when we get the right things, I'm not saying this is perfect, but I'm saying when we get the right things done, we've always said the talent is never in question. It's always about what are we going to do to help the talent to bloom. And I think that's what we're saying. I'm sitting there and I'm so confident. You can see the Tobiloba earlier today, and I mean, it was a given for me. When somebody asked me what was that performance, I said, what do you expect? Of course he's going to win. It was that clear. And I'm very happy for Enekwechi as well. As usual, our para weightlifters were fantastic. I mean, I was looking at the roll quarter, and I think in all with weightlifting, we got about 10 medals already from there. Boxing has been a bit disappointing, and I think we need to come back home and reassess what we're doing in terms of boxing, really, because boxing used to be up there, but we've been quite poor in recent years. So it's been a good day so far, expecting that tonight we'll make it better, and tomorrow we'll probably have a better run and much better. I'm looking at that target by the NSC. And I think we are close, and we'll get it.
Okay, we're close, we'll get it. Okay, Chukwuebuka Enekwechi, now let's just tell you this story, that she is the first Nigerian man to win a shot put at the Commonwealth Games. Yeah, everywhere. It's just this Commonwealth Games. So we don't have that at the Olympics. Obviously, international competition. When it comes to the Commonwealth Games and, of course, the Olympics, Chukwuebuka finally made this happen. 21.07 meters. That's what he threw for him to get that. It was a moment for Big Chooks, as we fondly call him. So Austin, Chukwuebuka Enekwechi finally, achieved his dream. He's been gunning for this. He's been waiting for it all through the years. And finally, he's got the gold in his hands.
I saw him before coming on air, and I said, Chukwuebuka, make sure I speak to you. He said he will speak to everybody till midnight because he has been looking for this Commonwealth gold medal forever. So think about it, that in Birmingham, he didn't even medal. I remember how heartbroken he was when I was trying to speak to him. Look, when you work so hard in our world of sports and then you achieve the results, it's something beautiful. He cried, Cecilia. Coach Gabriel Opuana cried. Chuck's manager cried. To tell you the sort of pressure that they were, facing, trying to see how to win at this Commonwealth Games. And it does something because the World Championships is coming, and then the big one in 2028. So when you build this sort of momentum, you want to sustain it. So congratulations to Chukwuebuka Enekwechi. I know he's a very hard-working fellow. He deserves this win.
2018, it was silver. The last edition, 2020, in Birmingham, he finished 4th. And this time around, he went for the gold. And that big throw was just enough for him to do that. Other Nigerians also make, I mean, there's one particular quote you always hear him say, is that, I mean, when they say a moving man will one day meet his luck. I mean, that's what applies to Chukwuebuka at this moment. But then we also have another Nigerian who was running in the 200 meters that I thought just maybe she'll qualify for the final. Olayinka Olajide, she ran 23.79 seconds, finishing 7th in the women's semi-final. So not enough for her to go through. Jennifer Chukwuka Obi finished 4th in her first in the semi-final one. So she won't be able to go through to the final, running 23.25 seconds. So these are some of the just concluded races from Team Nigeria.
Let me jump on Olayinka because we were with her at the mixed zone, you know, and it was a really emotional that session with her. She was crying on Yemi Olu's chest, you know, and she said she wasn't feeling well. She wasn't supposed to go for this. She entered for the 4x100 meters relay, and now she was forced. Look, this is what I'm saying. Nigeria, to our officials, you not do this to a professional athlete. That when you've prepared, someone just say, go and do it. No. Now this will do something to her mentality because she wasn't happy. She was crying right there at the mix zone, you know, because she said she doesn't like it. She thought she was having a good season, and now this has happened, you know. And look, she's just trying to even recover. I think she has an injury on her arm, and she's banded up, and they still allowed her to go and race. Same thing we're going to see with the long jump. No, Esebrume. And then we quickly brought in Ruth Soros. Now, where is Pristina, who did so well, who got to the Olympics final?
What happened was that they entered 2 names. You know, when they didn't pick Christina at first, no, we were talking about the fact that why will you leave her? You know, why will you leave her and just pick only Esebrume? They said it was the slot that was available. And now, Esebrume pulled out. And now you have to go pick Ruth Usoro. Ruth Usoro, was she even there at first? Because she didn't come for the national trials. So I thought they could have picked, I mean, more athletes. So if one is not running, you know, jumping, you know, there are others. But now they entered the 2 of them, and Commonwealth Games organizers told them, look, you entered 1 athlete for this event. You can't come and enter 2 athletes, so only one can come in. So that's what happened in that situation. But I feel AFN, you know, we've always talked about AFN and NBBF. The federations that is actually giving Nigeria a headache is AFM and NBBF. Yes, sometimes the athletes will go all out to get the win. But then we know these federations, I don't know what National Sports Commission is going to do about basketball and track and field. You're changing others. Maybe it's time for us to actually look in. If it means you can by election and okay, I'm going to leave it because I don't want to get into the politics of it because it's really, really annoying. You know, we've seen a lot of this happening in athletics. We'll just, you know, sweep it under the carpet because we feel we can always bounce back and get the results that we need. But back to what's currently happening on track, right? Udodi Owuzurike, he has qualified for the final of the men's 200 meters. You know, he clocked a time of 20.22 seconds. Yeah, that's the time he finished 2nd in the semi-final behind Jamaica, Christopher Taylor of Jamaica. So he's in the final of the 200 meters. So there's so many Nigerian athletes that are performing so well. But so far, I think what we need to do now is to see how we can, you know, support them in different ways we can. But first, let's take a listen to the president of the Nigerian Weightlifting Federation and the story behind the success of the weightlifters in Glasgow.
The secret is very simple. It's early camping, hard work, teamwork, and putting everything together. The coaches, the athletes, the administration, us, we came up together. We had the plan. The plan was to see that we surpassed what we did in the last Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. And so we started early. Even though we did not meet our projection, we had higher expectations. We also have Islamia in 69 category. You know, she was not here. She already qualified. She qualified automatically in her first competition. But it was because she got injured in Saudi Arabia. That's why. So we have the Rafiat. We have also Didi Taiwo, who is also a sure good medalist, but because of one or two technicality, we couldn't get her here. So we have a lot of these people. As we speak to you, in every category, we have the A team, the B team, and the C team. We have young athletes who are 13, 14, 15 years old whom we are currently grooming. In the last campaign that we had, we invited all of them so that we can give them the taste of what it is to be in the national camp. Prepare them, teach them how to be disciplined, sleep early, watch what you eat, and build your muscles, build your strength, and all. And so those are the things that we are doing. So
the things they're doing to ensure that when the athletes, I mean, when the older ones are going, the younger ones are coming. Now you understand that when the federation are, busy, preparing the athletes, not just with it. But also, you caught up with some of these athletes, the weightlifters who won medals at the Commonwealth Games. Let's take a listen to them. What have they been saying? What did they tell you, really?
My main goal is to go to qualify for the Olympics. I don't just want to be there alone to compete. I want to be on the podium also. The preparation for the Commonwealth was a very top-notch one. I've not been to any games before. This is my first Commonwealth game, and with the preparation, I was I was really, really impressed. Even people that have attended the previous one before, they testified to that the preparation can be compared to this, which really motivates most of the athletes, most especially when our DG came to us to say a few words to us and let us know what we are going to get when we win a gold, silver, and bronze medal. And with that, I really feel motivated with that because as an athlete, nobody wants to be a loser, most especially when money is involved.
It's hardworking, enough training, then you put more focus, then you have belief in yourself as well. So I think that would be the best option for yourself to achieve what you are aiming. What I want the government to do more is that the way they are focusing on other sports like football, athletics, and other sports like that, I want them to put more focus on weightlifting as well because weightlifting now is broadcasting, is trending in the world right now. So I think if they put more focus on us, we will deliver more.
The goal aspect was my target that was target, but the record was just came in because in weightlifting we have two sports, winning medal and record. There's sometimes that people win medal, but they don't do the record. So sometimes when you do record and win medal, it always be excellent for you. Since the last Commonwealth game that I won bronze in Birmingham, after 4 years, I said no. The next 4 years game, Commonwealth game, I have to win gold. I have to win back and training and focus and also trying to see how you can qualify because you have to go like 2 qualifiers to qualify for the Commonwealth game. So every single time, every single day in the gym, I have to make sure that I use my time well in terms of training so that I can see that I can improve my technique and my training for the next Commonwealth game.
Improvement, right? I mean, you're listening to them, you're just like, enjoying what they're saying because they're really happy about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's so relieving really seeing them with all the smiles. And I love the honesty of Onome. He said, when money is involved, I mean, you can raise roofs.
The gold will come.
I mean, it will come naturally. And that's what we're saying. It's when the right things are done.
Yeah.
Like we're saying, I mentioned earlier that we're not talking so much beyond the games. Of course, there are teaching issues that Austin highlighted. He's more on ground. But then those things are still not overshadowing for even the athletes that are competing. They can still make do with some of those things. Yeah, we expect it to be a bit more tidy. Hopefully we'll get better. We'll not regress. We'll keep progressing from where we are. But it's been a good run so far. And I'm happy for the athletes. Because you see, when it comes to multi-sport events, these are preparation of 4 years.
Yeah.
There is nothing more rewarding than to see yourself on that podium. The money is important, but I tell you, the one that you relive on a long term is that moment when you're standing on a podium and the anthem of your country is being sung because of you. Nothing can replace that.
Yeah, nothing replaces that. So we're waiting and see what's going to happen on Saturday, Austin, because that's when you will be having the 400 meters final for men and women is the morning session. So by 11, we should be celebrating maybe more medals. Who knows, right?
Well, definitely, because I caught up with Udodi and he said that they're pumped up. The men, they are really pumped up to do something in the relay. And the women, the story, they did so well in the last round in Birmingham, but for what happened with Grace and Kocha, that were now stripped of that gold medal because of doping issues. But let's stay with the weightlifters. Now it has been confirmed again that Nigeria as a country, we are good with the lifts and can dominate. We show with para-powerlifting, and we're showing it now with weightlifting. And all those guys were saying is, give us more attention, build more infrastructure, because we have the talent. So all of these things happening at the Commonwealth Games, it's indicative of the fact that we have talent, but we need the right leadership to put everything together so that we can, boss that particular event. So congratulations to the weightlifters, congratulations to Team Nigeria. I'm not really big on winning. I'm big on after you win, what do you do next?
Olympics is next. That's what they're saying. They want to win medals in that one also. So we're looking forward to them achieving and also doing that. And hopefully they can do it. But wrestling is what I was worrying about. Wrestling not at the Commonwealth Games. Well, we'll leave that discussion for another day, right? Now, let's talk about this one. The breaking news, what happened earlier today when UEFA members have voted to boycott all World Cups. Reason, both men and women, not just because the World Cup for women is next year in Brazil. That is simply because Infantino's proposal to sell stakes in the World Cup. CONCACAF members have also voted to reject the proposal, but then CAF are saying that they will have to look at it. They will be meeting next week to look at it very well, holistically, and then they will make their decision. So what is going on? The 2027 World Cup, this is a strong message because we've seen that some teams have qualified. The UEFA qualifiers, have been going on, England and Spain and all of them. So if you're defending champions, Spain, runner-up will not be there. I mean, it's looking like, I don't know. Let me come to you here. Maybe you've got answers. What is going on with these boycotts if the proposals go through? How much damage will this do to the World Cup, really, if it happens?
I think there is some measure of damage being done already from where we are. And let me quickly mention, you mentioned CAF that they want to meet next week. I think all of them in CAF should just find the most comfortable seat at the back of the hall. They are not serious people. Having said that, let's move to the serious matter. I've always felt that immediately after the World Cup in 2026, football will not remain the same.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of things that happened at that World Cup that were very unusual to football.
Yeah.
And it was probably the most marketed World Cup.
It was about the money.
And the most financially rewarding to FIFA. So FIFA did not care about the football or the soul of football itself. It's all about the money. It's a World Cup where people pay as much as $1.5 million for a seat to see a football match. And so the money bags came in, saw the money, and they were so interested. And that's what has happened. They want a stake in this football.
Minority stake. It's not so much, right?
It doesn't have to be so much for you to destroy the whole thing. Because you see, what will happen is that if this scale through, let's distill it to the minutest details. If this scale through, the ordinary fan, the regular football fan, might not be able to pay to watch a football match at some point.
Okay.
Because it becomes a case of the highest bidder, whoever can pay for it. Football suddenly will become an elitist thing that if you cannot pay, then you cannot have access to it. And you see, if it affects the ticket, it definitely will affect even those of us in the media in terms of the rights, how much you have to pay now to get a right to broadcast some of these events.
For sports, we just get everything.
I tell you, that's the point. They will get everything and they know how to milk it out. I mean, these are people that even a commentator saying one thing can be branded and can be paid for, if you understand American sport works. And I think that's the worry. And that's what UEFA is saying. Yes, there will be more money to the federations. The problem I have with the UEFA situation is that they came out collectively. But have you listened to the Czech president? The Czech FA president already said, he personally can see an advantage to the Czech Republic from the Infantino proposal. But of course, it still needs more details, which means even the UEFA position, there might still be a few that might be around.
When they ask everybody to vote, majority carries, it's going to be a problem. Austin, FIFA president, the proposal itself, he has been explaining his opportunity to actually turbocharge football. And it is conditional, I mean, it's democratic, so everyone will have to vote. The 211 member of the associations, of course, will be approved by the 38th member of FIFA Council before these proposals can fly.
Yeah, and it needs 106 votes to get that proposal across. And if UEFA and CONCACAF say they don't want it, that's 96 already. So it's looking like this is a bid that is dead on arrival. But he's saying, look, it means well that this will bring more money into football. He has proposed, I think, $40 million for member nations. I know Africa will jump on that quickly. But UEFA is saying, look, this will not end well. Let's listen to Gianni Infantino giving us the reason why he's thinking about turning the World Cup into an enterprise.
FIFA for Enterprise, or FFE, is actually a proposal, an offer. It's part of a democratic process, a consultation process. And above all, it is an opportunity, but not an obligation. It is a golden opportunity to turbocharge the development of the game globally. But again, it is just an offer, not an obligation. Too little of football's growing commercial value reaches the parts of the game that need it most. Capturing that value requires additional expertise, additional insight, distinct from governing and developing the sport. It would simply commercialize and organize all FIFA-owned competitions, along with sponsorship, broadcast, licensing, and new venture for the benefit of FIFA's 211 member associations. Many, many other fans from everywhere in the world would gain immeasurably from this game-changing potential, because it will transform football.
That's it, FIFA President Gianni Infantino. Look, is clear about it. Says let's put it the way we put it, Cecilia and Damilola. I say it's not by force. So it's just a proposal, but look, he said it's about minority non-controlling. We know what it is. By the time you bring investors, they put their money, and this sort of money coming into football, they would want that control. We'll continue to monitor this, and see where it will go. That's the show in Glasgow, Scotland, where the 2026 Commonwealth Games going on. I'm Austin O'Connor, finding everything you remember. Talking sport right for now.
Damilola Nifade, Metro FM 97.7. It's good to have you join us.
Thank you for that. It's good to be here. We started on a good note, but Infantino almost got me angry.
Yeah,
so
I know. Well, FIFA Forward Enterprise. Common is just minority stakes that he's selling. So, and you understand that FIFA operates with, well, what do you call it?
A democratic, undemocratic process.
No, as a foundation, non-profit
organization. But then we are focusing more on the money now.
Right? Well, just let me let you know that Senegal and Kenya, that game ended 1-0 in favor of Senegal. They won by a lone goal. Morocco and Algeria currently in action, is goalless, and it's 45 minutes. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. We're looking forward to Tobiloba Amuson. We're winning a third hurdles medal in a row. Gold, I mean. Good night.